Everybody is capable of becoming an entrepreneurial animal, and I'm going to make sure you become that entrepreneurial animal. Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of The Cognitive Entrepreneur. On this channel, I'm going to be teaching you how to become an entrepreneurial animal. An entrepreneurial animal. Now you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is a entrepreneurial animal? Well, I'm about to tell you. An entrepreneurial animal is an entrepreneur with the self-awareness of an animal. Now, when I say self-awareness of an animal, animals are incredibly self-aware. This has been proven by zoologists across the world. Animals are just very self-aware things. Humans, to a degree, have lost this. They have lost this sense of self-awareness in the modern age due to social media, due to climate change, due to Bitcoin. To be self-aware is probably the most important thing ever in the history of anything. Self-awareness is crucial. If somebody came up to me off the street and said, "Hey, here's a bunch of food. You want this food? You want to eat this food? I got a bunch of food. I got a bunch of food for you." This man on the street coming up to me asking if I want his food, or if he offered me self-awareness, every single time I would pick the self-awareness. I think if more people decided to have a good dish of self-awareness, we'd be a lot better off in the world than another plate of potatoes. That is what is crucial. Self-awareness over food. And it is crucial in order for you to become an entrepreneurial animal. An entrepreneur with animal self-awareness. I hope you understand what I'm saying. To be self-aware as an entrepreneur, there's so many levels to it. It's like a 12-story house, and you are climbing this house floor by floor. That's a lot of floors to climb up. I bet you've never even been in a 12-story house. I've been in a 12-story house. It takes a while to climb those stairs. Trust me. I met a man, deep Silicon Valley. He had a 12-story house. I said, "Why so many stories, buddy?" He says, "It represents the levels of self-awareness that I need to climb in order to become the success that I want to be." He informed me that he'd never even been past floor 7 in his house. He bought the house, 12 stories, never been up past 7. He said, when I reach a certain level of self-awareness, I'll climb up to 7 and I'll get to 8. What an inspiration that man is. What an inspiration that Silicon Valley tycoon is. It was breathtaking. You might not get to level 7 right off the bat. I think you'll get to level 2, hopefully, but I'm going to show you how to climb the stairs, how to climb the entrepreneurial stairs. Everybody in the 21st century wants to be an entrepreneur. This is a fact proven by science, by economics, by physics. The problem with this is that the definition of entrepreneur has been drugged through the muck. It's been drugged through the filth. It's been drugged through Merriam-Webster's garbage can, is what it has been. A lot of people think, oh yeah, being an entrepreneur is, I'm going to make a bunch of money and move to the Bahamas. I'm going to have a big old beach on the Bahamas. I'm going to have a house on the beach on the Bahamas and fish around. But I'm going to have a boat and start fishing, and I'm going to jump in the water and swim around and get in the water and start scuba diving. And look at there, there's a crab in the water. And I'm going to get the crab and I'm going to cook the crab and put it in my house. Put my house in the Bahamas. They're wrong. Being an entrepreneur is about reinventing the future every single day. Like Steve Jobs said, it's about making a ding in the universe. You need to get a hammer and say, hey, get ready, society. I'm going to start pounding on you with a hammer. That's how I like to think of being an entrepreneur, as a man with a hammer, furious at society and ready to start smashing it with a hammer. I think that's a very, very beautiful analogy for being an entrepreneurial animal. Whether it's green technology, whether it's internet technology, whether it's technology, I'm going to show you how to ingest this self-awareness and let it flow through you and come out in your hands and like claws. I'm going to teach you how to grow claws. I'm going to teach you how you can grow your claws longer and sharper so that you can enter these industries with gigantic claws and start clawing away at competitors, at the industry, disruption with your gigantic, horrific claws. And other people will be like, whoa, who is this guy with gigantic claws who's coming at me? And you can say, I'm an entrepreneurial animal and I am ready to start clawing your face with my animalistic aware claws. That's how I like to approach people for the first time, is I threaten to claw them with my animalistic claws that I've gained through self-awareness. Now, just to give you a little background on who I am a cognitive entrepreneur in the truest sense. I started developing apps. That is how I got my start in my entrepreneurial journey. When I was a kid, I knew that people were hungry for apps. They were starving. They were ravenous. They were chomping at the bit to get these apps that didn't even exist yet. They were itching. They were fiending. And I knew before long people were going to start bursting down the doors of Silicon Valley. They were going to break in to these tech companies, rip the doors down and say, hey, we want apps. And the engineers, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? What is an app? And then the people would rip the engineers apart limb from limb. I knew that was going to happen unless we started developing apps very quickly. People had no idea the tidal wave that was going to ensue from this app boom. It was a tsunami. I rode that tsunami. I surfed that tsunami. And it was a glorious tsunami, a very disruptive tsunami, yes, but a glorious one nonetheless. Through this process, I sold my apps for monetary compensation. I don't like to say money in this. I think that's disingenuous to what I did. I was able to accumulate value through monetary means for my cognitive thought mechanisms. I like to say it that way instead of just saying I sold my apps for a bunch of money. Money isn't important to me, you know? Sure, I mean, it bought me a Tesla, and it also bought me this mansion I'm in. I'm in a gigantic mansion. One of these days I'll show you around. But trust me, this is a gigantic mansion. And it bought me a horse. Money bought me a horse. I bought one of the largest horses in the world, and I'll just ride that bad boy around. Because there's nothing better than riding around on a horse in the middle of the day. I love riding around on horses, and I love spending money on horses. But ultimately, what I'm saying is money isn't that important to me. It's not important to me. What's important, again, is making that ding, making that dent in society, changing the world. Yes, riding around on a horse in the middle of a city street is incredible, but making a ding, making a dent in society with a heavy hammer, that's the goal. That's what you need to aspire to. Ideas, neural concepts, brain thoughts. These are what needs to be important. So after I had let go of some of my apps for monetary value, I decided, whoa, apps aren't the future anymore. Dunzo. They're deader than a doornail. No one's going to use apps in the future. We're done. I decided the future is investing in other people's neural cognition, helping develop their ideas. So I don't need to waste my neural network coming up with future ideas. That's a drain. I've been investing in many different fields, whether it's biotech, nanotechnology, Bitcoin, smart pants. They're pants that you can talk to. So you can talk to your pants. Sort of like Alexa, but they're pants. So you talk to your pants all the time. I think that's going to be something that's really going to blow up in the future. I certainly know I would like to talk to my pants more often. So that's a little of my backstory. And you're probably thinking, screw you. I know what's best for me. How dare you try to claim that you know better than I do? I should strike you. The only thing I am trying to do is help you open up your fourth eye, your entrepreneurial fourth eye. Third eye's done. That's over with. What the fourth eye does, self-awareness. Going back to this idea, self-awareness. You need to open the fourth eye in order to become self-aware and unleash the animal inside of you. I hope that makes sense. I like to describe the entrepreneurial animal as like a half lion, half octopus. A lion is king of the jungle. Nothing messes with a lion, that's a fact. It has claws. It growls very loudly. A lion is prowling through the plains. It's looking left and right and saying, I'm hungry. And it's got these fangs and it's furious. That is the predatory state you need to be in constantly. I can't recommend more. If you have a field nearby your house, just start crawling around just to get in the mind state of a lion. Now with the octopus, that means there's tentacles coming out of the back of this lion. What are these tentacles doing? What are these tentacles doing? Why does this lion have tentacles in the back? The tentacles are to search out new ideas, new conceits, new cognitive conceits. That's what the tentacles are for. So the lion is this ferocious predator, and the octopus is searching with its tentacles, searching with its suction cups, getting these ideas from the air. Because everybody knows that a lion is king of the jungle. Problem is, lion ain't king of the ocean. No, that's octopus. Octopus is king of the ocean. That's a fact. Any marine biologist will tell you that. You throw a lion deep into the ocean, it's not going to do so well. You throw a half lion, half octopus deep into the ocean, that thing is going to become the apex predator. And that's what you need to become, the apex predator, both land and sea, both jungle and ocean. Half octopus, half lion is going to do that. Trust me, I've thrown a lot of octopuses in the middle of the jungle. I've taken them out of tanks from the aquarium, and the people at the aquarium say to me, you can't take this octopus out of the aquarium. I say, get out of my face. I run with that octopus and I throw it in a field. And 100% of the time, that octopus does not do well in that field. 100% of the time. Now, if I had grafted that octopus onto a lion, I think that animal would do a lot better. Because lions can breathe air and octopuses can't. What I'm getting at is just become a gigantic half lion, half octopus. Everybody is capable of becoming a cognitive titan, a cognitive god. That's how you need to think of yourself. You need to think of this gigantic cognitive god that's tall and strong and ripping down buildings with your bare claws. Just shredding the ether in front of you. And people will be like, whoa, hey, calm down there. I'm just an innocent person. And no, you are not an innocent person. You are in my way. I am the cognitive god that has been prophesized about. I am the new flesh. I am the new blood. And you will bow down to me because I am a cognitive animal and I am hungry and I thirst for the flesh of the young. Half octopus, half lion, and I roam through the destruction and the waste, 12 feet tall, chasing people down, and I burst through the door, and the person inside is like, no, not me, my family's in here, and I say, I'm sorry, it's too late, and I get them. So that's the goal of my YouTube channel, is just to sort of pass on the entrepreneurial spirit, and I guarantee that you will become an entrepreneurial god as well, as long as you listen to me, every single word I say, and give me money. Tell all your friends about this YouTube channel. Tell all your family. Tell all your children. Get your children to subscribe. Make your children subscribe. I would even suggest making more YouTube accounts and having those subscribe, just so that we can get the engine really going for this thing. You are officially an entrepreneur now. I am deeming you an entrepreneur because you've listened to this YouTube video. Even if you're a child, even if your dad comes in and is like, hey, dinner's ready, and you're like, I'm not ready for dinner, I'm an entrepreneur. And your dad's like, what are you talking about? We just made pasta. Come down, it's time to eat dinner. And you're like, and then you punch your father, and your father's like, oh my God, son, how dare you? I never raised you like this. Tell your father that the cognitive entrepreneur told you to punch him because you are beyond simple dinners anymore. You're hungry for the entrepreneurial spirit. You're not hungry for pasta. So yeah, I really recommend just screaming at your parents. That is my goal ultimately, is to get as many children as possible to hit their father. If you want even more information, I would recommend checking out the podcast I have with Dustin Hahn. He is another incredible entrepreneurial animal. We have a podcast called Business Money Hacks. Check it out. I am linking it below. Make sure to link and subscribe to that and really pay attention. You're going to learn a lot of stuff from that podcast. It's incredibly important. It's possibly the most important thing in the whole world. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to the journey.